All right, let's get into this thing. Let's kick it off with our favorite preseason futures. Of course, this is combining our conference outright predictions and a little bit of my national player of the year picks. We're going to save any of the futures for Final Four appearances or national championship later on in the show when we do that section, that portion of the predictions. Mac, I guess since you're allowing me to kick this thing off, I'm gonna take you to.
There you go.
I ain't pulling any punches. We're starting off with my favorite preseason outright in a conference, and it's UAB to win the American plus 400 via DraftKings. The Blazers have the fourth most experienced roster in the AAC this preseason. They returned 60% of their minutes from last year, which is the most in the league. 3 starters returned from an NCAA tournament last year. Yaxel Landeborg is back. He is the 5-man who averaged a double-double last season. Looking around the rest of the AAC, Mac, Memphis has the most talented roster, but Penny Hardaway has that program a dumpster fire right now. Florida Atlantic has a new coach and a whole new roster, and unfortunately, the defending champions coach passed away last week, as crazy as that sounds. So UAB at plus 400, I think there's plenty of value with this pick. And yeah, it's Jeff Sharp. I'm rocking some new glasses. I've been bunkered up. I need to get a haircut prior to the opening night tip-off show as well. But these were just over there sitting at the eye doctor. These are blue light glasses for me, but I was just so busy doing all these team previews, couldn't run over and pick them up. So yeah, rocking them today, getting used to the crystal frames or whatever. But for the health of the eyes, right? So yeah, UAB Blazers plus 400 to win the American. Mac, your thoughts? Do you have by the way, guys, everybody that's listening to this, we have not conversed at all on how what our picks are. We don't know if we have similar picks or not. Mac, your thoughts on UAB?
I had him winning the league as well. Although I think, and I got the little analytics pulled up over here, the model, they say Memphis is 4 points better than everybody else on a neutral field, but that does not account for coaching. Andy Kennedy, by far, a better coach than Penny Hardaway. You mentioned all that returning production back from that NCAA tournament. I like UAB plus as well, plus 350. That was one of my
400 plus 400. I literally looked at this. I double checked this price the like a couple of hours ago. DraftKings plus 400. I literally wrote it down at 5:00. I played it earlier in the week when we did the American preview. UAB plus 400. Love it. And if, by the way, MGM has a boatload of all of these conference outrights, pretty much for every conference. So if you're looking for one that maybe a specific book doesn't have, go over to MGM. Mac, hit us with one of your futures. It doesn't have to be your favorite, but you can go with your favorite as well. Go ahead.
You guys are all going to bust my balls for this one. You know me, I love to bet dogs more than anyone. I'm going to give out not a plus money for my favorite one because we're going to go the America East, and I know they're minus 200. I don't give a damn. It's free. Vermont minus 200. They've won 9 in a row. They should be priced at like minus 400. I'll pay the $2 here. You know, I like rarely will I pay that ever, but for Vermont to win another regular season title under John Beckner, they have the most experience by far coming back. They have the best roster. They're the oldest team in the league. They're going to win the league outright. So a minus 200. I know I'm a bitch to start it off here this season.
Chalk eating weasel.
I know chalk back out of nowhere. But come on, man! Like you can't pass up minus 200 on Vermont. Like sometimes you got to eat that chalk. You only got to pay it when you lose, and I ain't losing with Vermont.
Okay. I will say John Becker's squad is the team to beat for sure. I picked them to win the America East pretty handily as well. Shamir Bogues and TJ Long returning that backcourt after double-digit point per games seasons last year. Ryan Hasty in the chat says it should be minus 500. You know, I just wasn't going to consider a minus money play.
They're my only one. They're my only one because I'm like, why are they not priced with like high or I guess high points only minus 200 too? But why are they not priced with like McNeese? McNeese is like minus 500. Vermont should be minus 500.
For clarity, how many plays are you sharing in this portion of the show?
Well, you know me, man. Like I always come in with a plan, and then the plan always turns into something else. So as of right now, I do have a 6-pack. Let's see
Okay.
where the 6-pack turns into, though.
All right, we both have 6, so that's perfectly planned. We did
Yeah.
not enter the show that way, but perfect. My second favorite preseason future is the Bradley Braves at plus 200 to win the Missouri Valley via Bet Rivers. Last season, Bradley finished third in this conference, only behind Indiana State and Drake. But both of those programs' coaches have moved on, and both rosters are basically completely clean slate. Brian Wardle returns as the Braves head coach with the most minutes returning from last season and one of the best home court advantages in the conference. Bradley is the front runner in the Valley this season, and I've got money on them to win it.
I know we differed on this one, but I completely see it. They're the only one that brings back anybody worth a damn in terms of returning production. They bring back the player of the year, and then Wardle's been a staple of consistency. So I do like getting them at plus money. They are really good. The only thing that I was hesitant on, man, with that league, it's always a shit show. So what should happen doesn't always happen.
It's gone chalk 3 years in a row. So
don't sleep on Northern Iowa. Let's not have that debate right now.
Drake had done pretty dang well as the favorite every single season, and I cashed in on him a couple of times.
Well, too. Indiana State won it last year, right?
Indiana State was like, I don't know if they were expected to really like burst onto the scene like that, but Drake was still 1 game behind first place. Bradley's going to be in the race. That's what I'm saying. The top 2 teams from last year, both coaches are gone. Bradley returns the most minutes. They finished in third. This is a very rational shot at plus 200.
All right. I like it. I'll give out my second pick here, and I will get in a little bit of action here. I am going with the Ohio Bobcats plus 200. They have by far the most returning production. They have the most experience. Jeff Bowles has been knocking on the door to win this regular season outright. I mean, you look at what they've done over the last couple of years. 19 wins, 25 wins, 20 wins. They've always been in the semifinals. He has not won the regular season yet. That ends this year. I like Jeff Bowles and the Ohio Bobcats plus 200 in the MEAC. And I think we lost Noah. We'll get him back here. He's just popping out. And I got the hoop right here, baby. I'll go over to my next one while we wait for Noah as well. I'm going to give out UC Irvine in the Big West, Russell Turner and company. I'm seeing them at plus 135. I know that's not as juicy as a pick as maybe everybody would like, but they've won the regular season back-to-back years. They bring back a ton of production. We know what Irvine has been in this year, or been in this league year in and year out. So give me Turner and UC Irvine to get this done. Plus 130 out there in the Big West. Keep this going, man. While we wait. Oh, here he is. There's Noah Bieniek.
I don't know what's going on.
You go to the hotspot yet?
It's not my computer. It's what we're using to stream this show on. So
it might be that. It might be Twitch. No, I gave out Ohio and I gave out plus 200 in the MEAC, and then I gave out UC Irvine plus 130 in the Big West. I love UC Irvine. They're gonna win that league.
Irvine's a solid pick. Dude, what in the world? Irvine's a solid pick. I have a gigantic pop-up in front of my screen. I don't know what the hell is going on. It's supposed to when we're supposed to be on this, it should block all that shit. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, Ohio, I picked second, only behind Toledo, who has won the. I give that nod to Toledo because they've won the MEAC 4 times in a row. I think that program's really good. I think that's the only team that you got to dodge there. And UC Irvine, I totally agree with it. I didn't write it down at plus 130 just because it wasn't juicy. Suffice enough for the price for me in the preseason. You know what? Before we get to the rest of the conference, predictions before my computer lags me out of this thing again, or this studio boots me out. Thank you guys for getting us to 12K subscribers, by the way. Before opening night tip, we were begging you guys over the last week here with all the conference previews. We just crossed it today. So we appreciate that. Also, I mean, you could continue for those that aren't subscribed, hit that like button and subscribe. And also on podcast platforms, give us a 5-star rating, especially on Spotify. That helps tremendously spread us around their through their algorithm. And also any other podcast platform. Leave a like, rating, review, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. We greatly appreciate it. And also on Underdog Fantasy, you can help us out. Use promo code TCESGPN, and they're going to take care of you. They've got one of the biggest menus for all of sports: NFL, college football, MLB, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, NHL, and college basketball when this thing tips off Monday. You can use specials and boosts on all flexed entries. With your first sign up, you can get a special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. All right, Mac, we're back here on the College Basketball Experience. Sorry for any delays, but let's jump back into this mess. My third favorite conference outright prediction that I've bet is Howard Bison, plus 200 to win the MEAC, also on Bet Rivers. Howard returns 53% of their minutes from an NCAA tournament team last year and is the most experienced team via Bart Torvik in the MEAC here in the preseason. Bryce Harris returns to rain terror upon this league. Once again, he finished last season 16.5 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, with over an assist, steal, and block per game. By far, best player in this conference, in my opinion. Last year, the Bison finished 7th out of 8 teams in the MEAC via defensive efficiency, yet they win the conference tournament. They were one of the best teams in the regular season. If that improves at all, I think Kenny Blakeney's boys take care of this conference outright easily. But like I said, they return the most minutes from an NCAA tournament team last season. I have the Howard Bison to win the MEAC at plus 200 on Bet Rivers.
I like it, Noah. I think Howard wins the MEAC as well. You mentioned it, talented roster, bringing back a ton of production from that team. They've been good back-to-back years. So, yeah, a little Bison action.
Do I have to catch up to you now? Since you've given out 3 plays?
3? Have you given out 2 or 3?
I've given up 3 now. You've given up 3?
Yep.
All right, go ahead with your 4th.
Let's go to the Fun Belt. So I got a Max one, I got a Fun Belt one. I know Arkansas State's the sexy pick, but I talked about it. Scott Cross quietly at Troy has won 20 wins, 3 straight years. They bring back 73% of the returning minutes. And I think that there's a lot of value in that. And this has been a good under-the-radar program. They were 13-5 in league last year. That was with App State and JMU being juggernauts. I don't think they're going to be as good this year, those two. I like Troy to make a step here. And one thing about Scott Cross, man, he had it rolling at Arlington. He won the Sun Belt at Arlington. For whatever reason, they fired him. The stupidest shit I've ever seen. He won 30. Watch out. He won 20 plus 3 straight years there. Hopefully he doesn't get fired at Troy for winning 20 plus every year. But plus 375. I like the Trojans of Troy here. All
right. I think that's interesting. I picked them second in the league this season. I had who did I pick to win the Sun Belt this year?
Now JMU? JMU.
Yeah, I picked James Madison. They're in my bracketology. So, yeah, I Sun Belt's up for grabs at the top. I can see your reasoning there. My 4th pick is a little bit of a combo play, a little bit of a juicy value play. Give me American at plus 425 and Bucknell at plus 850 to win the Patriot League via MGM. I'm jumping on 2 value plays here in this conference because Colgate is vulnerable as they've ever been in the Patriot League this season. The Raiders are very young. It's an inexperienced squad this year, whereas both of these squads, American and Bucknell, return over 70% of their minutes from last year. They're the 2 oldest squads in the league with the most experience coming back to their teams. And both of them have a couple of studs that could easily lead them to a conference title this season. It's just about consistency with a couple of programs that, haven't been been there, done that, like Colgate has. So Colgate could win some that I don't really expect them to, because of Matt Langle as the head coach and because of their winning culture. But I really do believe that American and Bucknell are the two teams that are positioned best to win this thing in the Patriot League this season. I picked them first and second, respectively. And you can get American at plus 425 and Bucknell at plus 850. Mac, I think you picked Lehigh. So we both have established that Colgate is very vulnerable this season, and that's the point here.
The toothpaste, like I said, the toothpaste was showing vulnerability last year. Colgate, they're not Vermont. They're not the blue blood. The blue blood's got a lot of kinks in that armor. Beware, baby. They're gonna have their work cut out for them. It's a unique year in the Patriot League where they're super young and everybody else is super old. And so we'll see if they finally get the throne. I like it. I did have Lehigh plus 750 is like a long shot. I don't know if I want to give that out as one of my favorites, but I do like taking a jab here. Man, I like my guy John Griffin at Bucknell. We had him on this summer. I like Bucknell a lot this year with the way they finished down the stretch in year one.
Yes, sir. Let's go. How many picks do you have left?
I think 2.
Okay. I have my 2 National Player of the Years, but I'm only going to give out one right now. The other one makes sense when we do our Final Four predictions and whatnot. So you go one, I'll go one, and then you finish this portion of the show.
Okay, let's go over to our favorite Horizon League, and I talked about this team. I really like the experience of this roster. I love the culture and coach here. Bart Lundy, back-to-back 20-win seasons. They finished second his first year. Took a little bit of a step back, but they bring back a shitload of production, and they are the oldest team in this league. They're one of the oldest teams in the country. Bart Lundy's won wherever he's been, at Queens. Now he's at Milwaukee. I like Milwaukee plus 350 to win the Horizon, baby. I think that's got some nice juice to it. So give me the Panthers in the Horizon.
Yeah, I think it's a good look as well. The Horizon League also seems really open at the top. Oakland last year, who swept this conference, is going to be rough 100% early to start the year. I picked Oakland 5th. Wright State loses their head coach. Clint Sargent gets promoted from within. You interviewed Sargent as well during the preseason, but they also lose their 2-star guards and Tanner Holden, and the other one slipped my mind off the top of my head. Youngstown State also loses their head coach Jared Calhoun to Utah State. So again, it's either Northern Kentucky, who's kind of been a really good program in this thing lately, but I have 2 teams ahead of Northern Kentucky. Your Milwaukee team, and I've also picked Purdue Fort Wayne to win that conference, but I do agree with you that this thing is up for grabs, and I like your shot there. Mac, I gave this thing out on the Big East Conference preview, and I'm going to give it out again. I think Kadari Richmond is a perfect fit, guard and coach. Yeah. This kid stuffs the stat sheet, does a little bit of everything stats-wise, and for National Player of the Year, you're going to have to. One, I think he's got a really good chance at leading his team in rebounds as a guard. You look at Vincent Iwuchukwu, who comes in from USC, didn't really excel on the glass last year, whereas Richmond in the Big East with a lot of great bigs grabbed a ton of boards last year. I think he's going to be really aggressive. Also, he's going to be able to press in Pitino's system. He's going to have a couple of steals per game. And I think he's going to be the leading scorer on this team. Just start checking boxes. And if St. John's has the type of year that I think they can have, that you think they can have, that Colby thinks they have, 150 to 1 is just wrong. You can get it over at Bet Rivers. It was at 151 when I played it on DraftKings 3 weeks ago. It is now 75 to 1. So this thing is coming down. Kadari Richmond, National Player of the Year, is just it's a price that's wrong. And I think that one's around 50 to 1 come mid-December. So that's my call there. And I've sprinkled on the 150 to 1 on him to win National Player of the Year. Unfortunately, there's not a way to really hedge out of that. So I don't really have like too much into that because there's not a really good way of extracting profit in that kind of market. So that would be my only caution about, this is 150 to 1 for a reason. But I think this price easily comes down. Mac, your last conference future.
So kind of like Ohio, I alluded to, like chip on their shoulder. They're older. It's a proud program. They haven't won the regular season in a while. And I think these programs that have a good culture take pride in winning a regular season title, being the best team for that 18 to 20 game slate. Eric Duff enters year number 3 at Weber. They've been knocking on the door back-to-back solid years, 20 wins, 18 wins, 11-7, 12-6 in league play. They bring back the most experience. I think Weber with Riley leaving Eastern Washington. I think Montana State's down. I think the Big Sky is right there to be had. Give me Weber State plus 280 here to win the Big Sky. I think they're the best team on paper, experience, and culture. And I think they return to the top here. And getting them at plus 280, let's go. Did we lose them again? We lost Noah Bieniek again. So, a couple other ones I was looking at while we wait for Noah. I think he's texting me right now. So I want to talk about his Kadari Richmond, because we're going to talk about St. John's here in a little bit, just with their veteran backcourt. I love Davion Smith. I think what Noah said with Kadari Richmond, I think he can play off the ball as well. He doesn't have to be as ball dominant, so he can be more of a scorer. I love that 1-2 guard combo. Noah, I was just saying I love Weber plus 280, and then I also was piggybacking off of your Kadari Richmond and breaking down that St. John's backcourt.
Yeah, I think Weber's a great pick, and Cody's talking about my internet. My internet's never done this, for what it's worth. Our website that we stream these things from, it keeps fucking freezing on me and kicking me out of the lobby. I don't know why. It's never happened at this rate before, ever, honestly. So it's not my connection, which I know it's dog shit, but
too much porn.
I apologize. But yeah, I think Kadari Richmond's the leading scorer and does everything at the most in every stat category that means something in that award. And Weber was my pick to win the Big Sky with you. I think they were disrespected by that media poll. I think they were picked like 3rd or 4th, which is a little wild. So I think that created some great value for us to take advantage of.